Welcome everyone to Podcast 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, cold cases, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for adult listeners 18 years of age and older. We discuss situations that may be offensive and triggering to some listeners. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome back to the 69 South studio today for our regular 69 South episode. I'm Chop, your host, and co-pilot in shotgun seat is Julie. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
We got another story about a piece of shit who's taking advantage of minors. And if you go on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, this dude
He is a social media fitness influencer.
Dude had a lot of followers and shit, right?
I think on Instagram he was well over 100,000, over 50,000 on TikTok. I'm not sure how many he had on Facebook, but you know, he had a big following. Plus there's a Facebook group that I think has like 39,000 members in it. And he goes by Kaizen, Kaizen DIY Gym.
And I went and looked at some of these dudes' videos, and I mean, honestly, the dude looked like he had, for one, quite a bit of time and money wrapped up into it, but he kind of seemed like he knew what he was doing and had his shit together, but all things are not as they appear, obviously.
Absolutely not, because on Wednesday, November 26th, at approximately 7 in the morning, an MPD officer was dispatched to a rape investigation with a suspect on scene somewhere in Indianapolis. So upon arrival, officers met with the caller, which we'll call Witness 1, who stated that the male, later identified as suspect Brian Kyle Devine, was in the basement. Officers secured the suspect in handcuffs and placed him in a squad car.
The officer then spoke with witness number 1 and her daughter, the victim. Victim said nothing had happened that day, but that approximately 1 month ago, she and the suspect had had sex while they were working. The victim explained that she and the suspect were drinking alcohol and had sex twice on the same day. The victim said approximately 2 weeks later, she and the suspect had sex for the third time. The officer contacted the IMPD Child Abuse Unit and spoke with the detective. Another officer notified the Indiana Department of Child Services, and a DCS report was completed. Officers transported Kyle and the victim separately to the child abuse office, where child abuse detectives then took over the investigation.
On Wednesday, November 26, 2025, the detective conducted an audio and video recorded interview of the victim, who is 16 years of age. The victim said she lives at the address with her mother, her stepfather, and her younger siblings. The victim said she was there to talk about the sex incidences with Kyle. The victim said the incidences occurred over the span of a month. She stated she drank alcohol with Kyle and had sex with him. She said it was penetrative sex and that his penis went inside her vagina, and that it all started at the warehouse or garage about a month ago. The victim said that the suspect, Kyle, worked for a couple hours, then they drank beer and vodka, and then they had sex at the garage. The victim stated that Kyle kissed her, picked her up, and placed her on the couch, fingered her, and had sex with her. The victim said before they left the garage, she and the suspect had sex again against a door. The victim stated she had drank 6 to 8 shots of vodka, which Kyle provided.
Basically, I think the deal with the garage and the warehouse is they had a home somewhere in Indianapolis, and his gym stuff and his DIY workout videos got so big that I think he was renting a garage somewhere, and then he set that up, and he had honestly a pretty good looking setup there. but the victim stated she didn't have an alcohol tolerance and was drunk at the time of the sex. She stated that the sex was consensual. She described another incident a couple of weeks later when her mother was out of town. She stated she had 3 beers, some shots of alcohol, and was cuddling with Kyle while watching a movie with him. She stated she was intoxicated this time as well, and Kyle was too. She stated that she and Kyle had sex then. She stated that she had penetrative sex with Kyle along with oral sex. She stated that during sex, the suspect pulled out all but once. See, they're saying it was consensual, but I don't think a drunk 16-year-old girl really has the mind to consent to anything. You can't even sign a contract if you're not 18. You know what I mean? So,
right. So the detective introduced anatomical diagrams of both male and a female. When asked to circle the areas used for oral sex, the victim circled the female's diagrams, mouth, boobs, and vagina. When asked what parts of Kyle's body did he use, the victim circled the male diagrams, mouth, hands, and I swear it says dick. But the victim confirmed all of the sexual encounters were consensual.
When asked about prior communication regarding sex, anything through phone, victim stated that Kyle texted that he was sorry for hurting her. This came after Kyle stopped speaking to her while they were at his mother's house. The victim said Kyle began accusing her of being a whore. She said that they did not exchange photographs over the phone.
He accuses his own stepdaughter of being a whore, and look what he's doing to her.
So you're screwing your wife's 16-year-old daughter, and then you accuse her of being a whore?
Wow.
That's messed up.
On November 26th, the detective spoke with witness number 2 at the child abuse office. Witness number 2 stated that she knew why she was there, but only found out that morning. Witness 2 stated she found out because her mother told her. Witness 2 stated that her mom found out because she found something on the victim's phone. Witness number 2 stated the only thing she knew was that the victim had ended up telling her. Witness 2 stated the victim told her he would give her alcohol sometimes and stated that the victim didn't go much into detail. Witness number 2 stated that he was her dad, who was the suspect, Kyle Devine, and witness number 2 denied ever being touched and denied ever being given any kind of alcohol or narcotics.
On November 26, the detective spoke with witness number 1 at the child abuse office. Witness number 1 stated that she is married to Kyle. She explained that the victim is her daughter, and witness 2, who is going by witness 2 obviously, is the suspect's daughter. Witness 1 stated the incidents between the victim and Kyle happened at the garage and at their home.
Witness 1 stated she texted her mom the garage's address. Witness 1 stated the garage's address is somewhere on the west side of Indianapolis and stated she thought she knew some of the days the incidents occurred between the victim and the suspect because the suspect unplugged their Ring cameras and deleted the video footage. She stated that they have cameras at their house and also at the garage. They have 2 Ring cameras inside their residence, which they both have access to. They also have Ring doorbell cameras. She explained that one of the cameras inside the residence faces the dining room and their bedroom. The second camera is in the kitchen. Witness 1 stated this all started last night after she learned that Kyle was furnishing witness 2 and the victim with drugs and alcohol. She stated last night that witness 2 was drunk.
So that was Kyle's own daughter, was witness number 2. So he was getting his own daughter and the stepdaughter drunk.
Right. She stated that she knew that witness 2 was drunk because witness 2 came out of her bedroom and said it. She stated witness 2 said that Kyle told her not to tell her about the drugs and the alcohol. She stated that she called Kyle's family to tell them what was happening and that he was giving his daughter and her daughter drugs and alcohol.
So the mother had called Kyle's family to tell him what was happening. And when she had called them, upon hearing that, they in turn told her that the victim had a Tinder account. Well, the mother said she freaked out and went upstairs to confront her. I bet she did. Witness 1 says she went through the victim's phone and began searching victim's Tinder account. The mother said she found several guys on Tinder that victim was talking to. She said she texted all the guys that victim had been communicating with on Tinder and told him she was only 16 years of age. The mother said that she then blocked them from the victim's phone. She said she was continued looking through the victim's phone and checked the victim's photos, specifically the deleted ones, and saw that the victim had had a chat with a rape, abuse, and incest national network. She said that she saw approximately 10 deleted screenshots containing a conversation that the victim had had with the rape abuse center. She explained that the conversation was about the victim being in a bad situation with her stepdad. She said the victim had written out how she was unsure if it was considered rape because the age of consent is 16. She said the victim wrote a couple of paragraphs via the rape abuse hotline about her and the suspect having sex. She said that one is in a chat, and she said she was going to work with the suspect in the garage. Witness 1 said the garage was on the west side of Indianapolis, and she explained that the suspect is a gym influencer. So the garage was converted into a gym, set up to film workouts. Witness 1 said that she believes there are 2 cameras outside the garage and possibly one inside.
I got these. His wife, she's livid, and she posted the screenshots on this guy's social media account so that everybody could see. She was like, yeah, Kaizen DIY gym has been, I don't know if it said molesting or raping or something, but to that effect, his own stepdaughter, and she just let it all out online. I couldn't believe it.
I'll bet she was blindsided. I mean, this is speculation, but she probably helped this dude get all this equipment and get all set up. I don't know that for a fact, but
assuming they're a team and they're married and they're working together. Married.
So one thing I thought was weird about that is she called Kyle's family to be like, hey, this dude is giving his daughter and my daughter drugs and alcohol, and they in turn throwed some shade on the victim.
Well, she's got a Tinder account. She's kind of victim shaming, just in a weird way. Oh, you're busting him out on this. We're going to bust her out on this.
So what? She's smoking and drinking. She's got a Tinder account. Now what? You know what I mean? That's kind of funky.
We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? It's Chop from 69 South. And if you can't get enough of our content and Chop and Julie's bullshit, go to Patreon at
www.patreon.com/69South
and get your daily dose of the Daily Detour. We go through today's crazy news stories and put a little comedy spin on it for a lighter note. It comes out every day, so get your daily dose of the Detour. And let us take the blues out of your day and put a little sunshine in your life.
She went on to say that Kyle is the only one with access to the garage cameras. She said that after she saw the screenshot conversation between Rain and the victim, she freaked out. She said she confronted Kyle about it and he denied it. She said that the suspect have been fighting and are in therapy as a result of his giving the kids drugs and alcohol.
Oh, so there was already an issue with the drugs and alcohol if he's already in counseling about it.
Well, they were both in some type of counseling over it. So this has been a problem before that she's been trying to get resolved. I just can't imagine somebody giving my kids drugs and alcohol, and they're supposed to be my best friend and partner and raise, healthy, productive children, and you're giving them shit that's going to rot their brain.
It is kind of funky that dude is a health influencer.
Of all things.
He's showing people how to do curls, then he's showing his daughter and stepdaughter how to do curls with alcohol and probably weed. I'm just speculating, but...
Right. So back to the PCA. She said the screenshots that she had found said things about Kyle raping the victim and giving her marijuana and alcohol. She said that when she confronted the victim said it happened 3 times with Kyle. She said the victim stated the last time the incidents had occurred was about a month ago. She stated that the victim told her Kyle did penetrate her and said that the victim said the suspect came inside her and then made her take a Plan B pill. Wow. She said the victim told her that she and the suspect had sex one time in their bed when she was in Ohio for work. Wow.
So she's going out of town to work to help support the family and probably help support his gym fitness videos, and dude steadily fucking her daughter while she's out of town. The mother said that she went to Ohio on November 3rd and returned on November 4th. She said the victim said that the first time she and Kyle had sex, it happened after his birthday in October. Witness 1 said that the victim told her that she and Kyle had sex twice in October on the same day at the garage. She said the victim told her the suspect made her give him blowjobs. Witness 1 said the victim told her she tried to hold Kyle's hand in the car, and he said to stop. This is just sex. Witness 1 said that when she was deleting things from her daughter's phone, she saw 5 messages from Kyle, but she accidentally deleted them before reading them. Witness 1 said victim told her that the messages from Kyle said that he was sorry and that he was going to kill himself. Witness 1 said suspect has 1 Apple iPhone, a MacBook, 2 computers at work, and an Apple Watch. Witness 1 said Kyle works in it. Witness 1 said suspect uses a VPN and is very secretive and tech savvy. Witness 1 said that she purchased the victim's iPhone and the victim's phone number is blah, blah, blah. Witness 1 said that the passcode to her phone is blah, blah, blah. She said that she knows the passcode to Kyle's phone and that her email, and then it states her email. Today, the victim's mother took the victim's phone after hearing about the sleeping with an older man. When Witness 1 looked through her phone and discovered screenshots in the victim's phone of her activity on the rape hotline application.
So the detective conducted an audio and video recorded interview with Kyle. He read the advice of rights to Kyle, who acknowledged that he understood. Kyle agreed to speak with the detective by signing the waiver of rights. Now, during the interview, Kyle spoke about his work in IT and stated he owned a MacBook Pro, an iPhone 12, and an Apple Watch. He later confirmed his email address, which is linked to, the Ring doorbell accounts, and he also confirmed other email accounts that he did have. Kyle stated that the victim had a relationship with one of Witness 1's ex-boyfriends. When he began hanging out more with the victim, she disclosed more to him about the prior relationship. Their conversation became inappropriate when the victim would talk to Kyle when he was having issues with his wife. In October of 2025, the suspect Kyle stated that he began spending more time with the victim. Kyle confirmed that the victim would work with him at the garage he purchased in mid-September of 2025. Kyle stated he was setting up workout equipment in the garage. In November of 2025, his relationship with the victim became sexual. Kyle explained that his wife came to him to speak about not being comfortable with him drinking alcohol with the victim. Kyle stated he stopped talking and hanging out as much with the victim, but she would still work with him at the garage. While at the garage, Kyle spoke to the victim about her wanting more from their relationship. Kyle stated he knew better, but the victim began taking her clothing off and becoming persistent to have sex with him. Kyle stated he rejected the victim and told her to put her clothing back on. I'm sorry, but I just don't see somebody that... I just don't see a young girl looking at this dude like, okay, this is my stepdad, and proceeding to do those actions that he just said she did. I just don't find it plausible.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically blaming it on her. You got the victim blaming bullshit going on again. The fact of the matter is...
He's a grown man.
He's a grown-ass man. He was all buddying up with these 15 and 16-year-old kids, and you know damn good and well he ain't some innocent dude that this 16-year-old girl got drunk and took advantage of him. Come on, man.
So another time while driving to the garage, he told the victim that a relationship could not happen between them. They talked and worked during the day. Later, the victim brought up just having sex one time and never doing it again. And Kyle finally agreed, he said.
Come on, man.
Finally agreed. We'll just do it one time.
Yeah.
And never again. This dude is so full of shit. So the first sexual encounter occurred at the beginning of November 2025 on a Wednesday, he said. Kyle confirmed he and the victim were at the garage drinking alcohol before having sex with her on the couch. They had sex a second time the same day in the garage near a door. So what happened with, I finally agreed to just one time because he's full of shit.
All right, then a couple hours later, okay, just one more time.
Well, it's the same day, so it only counts as once.
Absolutely.
I bet he's running these justifications. I mean...
You know he is. That's exactly what he's doing. He's justifying this shit in his head.
So when asked about the victim's drinking habits, Kyle confirmed the victim would usually drink a beer or two and a shot. Kyle described a time when their family rented an Airbnb in Kentucky. During the family's stay, the victim drank too much alcohol and ran around the house. Well, that's probably what a young girl would do if they drank too much alcohol at that age. That's not them taking off their clothes or...
Right, they're going to run around and act dumb and drunk.
Right. So Kyle stated his second sexual encounter with the victim occurred at their home. During the second sexual encounter, Kyle confirmed the victim was drinking alcohol and his wife was on a work trip at the time.
Kyle stated that the victim wanted to continue their sexual relationship, but he didn't want to. Kyle stated that he would not wear a condom during sexual intercourse with the victim, and she took a Plan B pill. Kyle believed the victim got the Plan B pill from her mother. Kyle was asked how the mother came to find out about his sexual relationship with the victim. He stated the victim had her phone taken away due to the mother discovering her having a Tinder account. When looking through the victim's phone, she discovered something indicating his relationship with the victim in the phone. Kyle confirmed that he had 2 Ring cameras at his garage. He was unsure if they were on due to them requiring Wi-Fi, and he was unsure if the Wi-Fi was on. Kyle stated that there was a camera on the outside of the garage and another located inside at a corner. He also confirmed that there were 2 Ring cameras located inside their home, a camera located in the dining room and the other in the kitchen. The other cameras were located outside the home. Kyle stated he did speak to the victim through text when they were sexually active.
We'll be right back.
Discover Rosie Posy's Farmstand at 6082 East Hadley Road in Moorseville, Indiana. Home of the Sourdough Bagel Bombs. Crafted with love, these bagel bombs burst with flavors like Asiago cheese, jalapeno pepper, blueberries and cream, and everything bagel. Their artesian sourdough loaves come in classic, chocolate chip, jalapeno cheddar, and garlic parmesan, just to name a few, and they are pure perfection and the best in the area. If you're craving some sweets, they have homemade cookie sandwiches and cookie dough and s'mores flavors delight. Grab a farm fresh flower bouquet from the iconic pink roadside stand and go follow Rosie Posy's Farm Stand on Facebook for daily menu items and availability. Visit Rosie Posy's for an unforgettable taste experience at 6082 East Hadley Road. So, on November 26th, the detective conducted an audio and video interview with witness 1 due to her stating that she had further information for detectives. In the interview, witness 1 stated that while in the waiting room, the victim stated to her that at least she did not get herpes. Witness 1 thought that was important because until that point, the only people that knew suspect had herpes were witness 1 and the suspect. Witness 1 also stated that on the night before, November 25th, when she was going through the victim's phone, she received an alert on victim's phone that there was an attempted iCloud login, and she believes that Kyle was trying to wipe the victim's phone through another device. The victim also informed witness 1 in the waiting room that she typed about the activities in the notes part of her phone and that Kyle gives her alcohol and cigarettes when they are away from the residence.
So basically, she's saying she was on the girl's phone and then she could tell that somebody was trying to access her iCloud from another device.
He was scared.
He was tripping. Yeah.
Detectives applied for warrants to obtain a buccal swab from Kyle at the child abuse office, as well as warrants to take photographs at the residence and collect Kyle's cell phone. Warrants were also applied for to take photographs at the warehouse or garage. Kyle was placed under arrest for child seduction and was transported to intake. A warrant was granted to search and seize the victim's phone, and then a warrant was also granted for photographs of the residence. Plus, they also got another warrant to seize the suspect's cell phone and photos, DNA collection, stuff from the warehouse. You had to have a whole bunch of different warrants.
You ain't kidding. The detective served the warrant for the victim's phone at the child abuse offices. Upon arriving at the residence, the detective recovered the phone belonging to Kyle and photographs were taken of the residence. The detective then went to the warehouse with the assistance of CSU. Photographs were taken and 3 pieces from the couch were recovered with potential DNA and were transported to CSU. The phones were transported to the IMPD property room by the detective along with the DNA swabs. Both the iCloud account and the Ring account belonging to Kyle were preserved. I wonder if it only happened 3 times or if there was a lot more to it than that. It seems like their stories were a lot similar, except the fact that Kyle was definitely trying to throw shade on the victim like it was all her fault.
Right. And you know what? I guarantee it. If you just, everything about him was so immoral. Okay. So could you imagine what he's done with other women that aren't part of his family? I mean, if you're going to fold to that or do something like that, you're going to do that with anybody.
Oh, I'm sure he had all kinds of probably women over there trying to get fit and working out with him. And sounds like they may have got a lot more than the workout that he was giving them, according to what the mother said, the wife said.
also, I mean, if you go through his social media accounts, some of the music that he picks for his videos, hindsight, it says a lot.
It sure does. It sure does. I bet his followers are just dropping off like flies now. I wonder if you can go on there and see it. When we first looked at it and screen recorded some of it, because
You know what was odd? So they got like a private group. There's like 39,000 people in it by this Kaizen DIY gym. Well, anyway, a lot of the people on post and comments, because they post about what happened in there, they're all like, "Oh, I hope this isn't true. I can't believe this."
well, he admitted it.
I know, but it was just crazy to me that these people were like, "Oh my God," and feeling sorry for him.
I mean, come on, dude. There's plenty of grown women out there. If you're going to go fuck around with somebody.
And as a grown man, what is right and what is wrong?
He should have known that from the gate. Absolutely.
But, I bet you all of his social media followers went to his head and he just thought he was untouchable. And, he had it all going on. He had hundreds of thousands of people following him. And, I bet that's what happened. He thought he was untouchable because he was this big influencer. I guess they say people get like that once they get so many followers, or, their whole attitude changes. They're not humble. They start to get entitled and expect this or that. And
he thought his shit didn't stink, is what it was. I wonder if he thought that, because obviously the victim was wondering about the age of consent. And granted, she did say that he didn't, force himself on her, that it was consensual. But let's run through and talk about the age of consent and what that exactly means in Indiana. And the age of consent laws, they do vary from state to state. But let's get this in Indiana perspective for you guys. So the age of consent in Indiana is 16 years of age. This means that individuals under 16 cannot legally consent to sexual activity, regardless of any verbal agreement. For those 16 years and older, consent is generally valid for sexual activity with an adult, provided there are no other aggravating factors like coercion, incapacity, an example due to drugs or alcohol, so that shoots that out of the water, or positions of authority that could invalidate it. Indiana also has a Romeo and Juliet close in age exception. A 14 or 15-year-old can legally consent to someone less than 18 years of age if the age difference is no more than 4 years, but this does not apply to adults over 18. Now, does that mean consent counts with a stepfather? No, consent does not count in Indiana for sexual activity between a step-parent, like a stepfather, and a stepchild, even if the child is 16 years or older. Indiana's law treats such relationship as inherently non-consensual due to, like, the stepdad has authority and it's like a power imbalance. There's also child seduction laws under Indiana codes. A step-parent who is 18 years or older engaging in sexual intercourse or other sexual conduct with a stepchild under 18 is guilty of child seduction, a level 4 felony punishable by 2 to 12 years in prison and fines up to $10,000. The victim's age does not need to be below the general consent of age 16 for this charge to apply. The step-parent-stepchild relationship alone triggers it for anyone under 18. Consent is irrelevant here because of the law presumes exploitation. I bet some wild court cases happened, and that's how they came to change the codes, which it absolutely should be.
Right.
Like when you're in authority over a kid, it's kind of...
And a parent is all authority.
Yeah, and it's, a step-parent is the same as a parent. I mean, you're...
living in the same home.
You make the rules, you do this.
You have a life together.
Absolutely.
With your family.
There's also laws against incest in Indiana. There's an Indiana code that defines incest as a level 5 felony for a person 18 years or older engaging in sexual conduct with someone they know is biological related. An example, a parent or a child. However, step relations are not explicitly covered under the biological incest statute, so they fall under the child seduction framework instead. These rules are there to protect minors from abuse within blended families where authority dynamics can prevent true consent. If the stepchild is under 16, additional charges like sexual misconduct with a minor, level 4 or level 6 felony, could apply, further emphasizing the consent is void. Let's go through the charges that he actually did have, and then we'll explain that.
He got 6 level 5 felony child seduction charges and 1 misdemeanor A contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
I wonder why he only got one of those, because obviously it happened several times, and with 2 different children, his daughter and her daughter.
Do you think it's probably to do with the evidence and if they can or cannot prove that?
Could be. Usually they throw 1,000 charges at you and just hope 5 stick, but...
Yeah, but in this case, it's warranted.
Right. True.
So his bond, and I haven't seen one like this in like a long time, but he has a $15,000 cash bond, no 10%. So he has to pay $15,000 cash, no new arrest, no firearms. And if he can make the $15,000 cash bond, he's to be held to by Marion County Community Corrections, and he'll go on home detention or GPS probably until the trial or plea deal or whatever is going to happen here.
So not only he's going to have to pay the $15,000, he's going to have to go on GPS, home detention, and I hope and highly doubt that he's going to be able to go back home to where all this shit happened. You know, there's going to be no contact orders against the victims. And
they're already issued. It's not just it's against the witnesses, the victim. So he's going to have to probably find somewhere to live or move into his garage or warehouse. But I haven't seen a bond posted yet, so I doubt that he's out, but he intends to hire private counsel.
Well, was it worth it, Kyle? All that hard work and stuff you did to be an influencer, it really looked like you were going somewhere, but you just couldn't keep it in your pants, bud. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Well, on our next episode, we're going to be jumping into the horrendous case of Johnny Knuckles. If you haven't already heard, over in Shelby County, Indiana, Johnny Knuckles was arrested for sexually assaulting a 2-year-old child, and it's horrific, very horrific. So we'll jump into those details in that probable cause affidavit.
You know, we was talking about something last night, coming home from wrestling practice and stuff. You asked me if, because unfortunately we're never short of content for this type of podcast. And you asked me, you said, do you think the child seduction shit was this bad, like when we were kids? And it just didn't. I don't whether I was just blind to it or it just didn't seem like shit was this freaking erratically bad.
You hear
when
about
we were
this,
growing up.
You hear about this every single day, and I know we're a different time now, but still, it
seems like it's getting out of control. And I always say I sound like old Buddy Duddy or one, but the fucking internet, man, the internet is the devil. It really is.
It sure is.
I just wonder sometimes if, how when you're a kid and you're growing up and you get to the next level of learning shit in life, it's like you get a kind of a dopamine out of it, And it seems like these kids nowadays are being able to access the internet and look at shit they're not supposed to. So it's like they're always craving that next little piece of dopamine, and it's just, I don't know, it's got everything kind of messed up.
I've banned my children from devices.
Yeah, and parents, keep an eye on your kids. See what the hell they're doing.
Check their phones, check their Chromebooks, check your iPad, your house computer. You name it, you need to check it.
And don't let your kids get mad at you and be like, oh, you're so mean and controlling, because they'll thank you when they get a little bit older.
They sure will.
If you'd like to support what we do and help us keep the lights on the studio, please go to
www.patreon.com/69south.
We put out daily Detour episodes on there. It's only for you guys. Until then, have a good day, good evening, whatever.